Welcome to Episode 6. The House of Tudor ended with the death of Elizabeth I on the 24th of March 1603. James I ascended the throne of England and brought it into personal union with the Kingdom of Scotland. Despite the union of the crowns, the kingdoms remained separate and independent states, a state of affairs which lasted for more than a century. The Stuart kings overestimated the power of the English monarchy, and were cast down by Parliament in 1645 and 1688. In the first instance, Charles I's introduction of new forms of taxation in defiance of Parliament led to the English Civil War, 1641–45, in which the king was defeated, and to the abolition of the monarchy under Oliver Cromwell during the interregnum of 1649–1660. After the trial and execution of Charles I in January 1649, the Rump Parliament passed an act declaring England to be a Commonwealth on the 19th of May 1649. The monarchy and the House of Lords were abolished, and so the House of Commons became a unitary legislative chamber with a new body, the Council of State, becoming the executive. However, the army remained the dominant institution in the new republic, and the most prominent general was Oliver Cromwell. The Commonwealth fought wars in Ireland and Scotland which were subdued and placed under Commonwealth military occupation. Meanwhile, relations with the Dutch Republic had deteriorated. Despite initial English support during the Dutch War of Independence against the Spanish, tensions arose as the Dutch Republic emerged as England's principal commercial and naval rival. By the mid-17th century, it had become the foremost trading nation. In response, the English, alarmed by their waning competitiveness, implemented stricter trading policies to curb Dutch dominance. The First Anglo-Dutch War, which followed, however, failed to resolve the commercial issues. In April 1653, Cromwell and the other grandees of the new model army, frustrated with the members of the Rump Parliament who would not pass legislation to dissolve the Rump and to allow a new, more representative parliament to be elected, stopped the Rump session and declared the Rump dissolved. After an experiment with a nominated assembly, Barebones Parliament, the grandees in the army, through the Council of State, imposed a new constitutional arrangement under a written constitution called the Instrument of Government. Under the Instrument of Government, executive power lay with a Lord Protector, an office to be held for the life of the incumbent, and there were to be triennial parliaments, with each sitting for at least 5 months. Article 23 of the Instrument of Government stated that Oliver Cromwell was to be the first Lord Protector. The Instrument of Government was replaced by a second constitution, the Humble Petition and Advice, under which the Lord Protector could nominate his successor. Cromwell nominated his son Richard, who became Lord Protector on the death of Oliver on 3 September 1658. Richard proved to be ineffectual and was unable to maintain his rule. He resigned his title and retired into obscurity. The Rump Parliament was recalled, and there was a second period where the executive power lay with the Council of State. But this restoration of Commonwealth rule, similar to that before the Protectorate, proved to be unstable, and the exiled claimant, Charles II, was restored to the throne in 1660. In 1665, the unresolved commercial issues with the Dutch led to the Second Anglo-Dutch War, which culminated in the disastrous raid on the Medway and forced the humiliated Charles into an unfavorable peace treaty. The treaty eliminated a number of long-standing issues, and in the long term made it possible for the two countries to unite against the expansionist policies pursued by Louis XIV of France. In the short term, however, Charles's desire to avenge this setback led to the Third Anglo-Dutch War in 1672. Despite attaining French support this time, Dutch naval successes made Parliament unwilling to support Charles's war effort any further, and he was again forced to make peace. Following the restoration of the monarchy in 1660, an attempt by James II to reintroduce Roman Catholicism, a century after its suppression by the Tudors, led to the Glorious Revolution of 1688, in which he was exiled by the Dutch Prince William of Orange. William and his wife Mary were subsequently crowned by Parliament. William reoriented England's foreign policy to support the Dutch Republic in its wars against Louis XIV of France. Episode 7 will be continued.